What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is AT Smooth 6, and today I am here with the best amigo in El Mundo. It is Panther.
What's going on, guys? My name is Panther, and welcome to the podcast.
The one, the only OMG back at it again with the white vans as I just get shot by a bot with a shotgun.
So right now, we decided to try something different. Normally with the podcast, we just record it straight. We don't really do anything. We just talk. But right now, we're like, you know what? Let's just go into a custom game and just, mess around to try to get our brains flowing and going because for some reason, we think a lot better while we're playing on some video games. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. Don't worry.
So we might make some references to getting shot and killed by some bots, but yeah, it's just because we suck.
I totally forgot to put on lethal streaks too. So I
Oh,
have the UAV, the hunter killer drone, and the counter UAV.
nice. I got a warthog, dogs, and swarm. So once I get those, I think I'll be taking all the kills.
You will definitely.
So,
Okay. Anyway,
anyways, this first topic that we're gonna talk about is something that's kind of near and dear to my heart for some reason because I think it's just absolutely straight up ridiculous. And it's that people nowadays, see, look, okay, people nowadays get offended by everything, and guaranteed someone just got
somebody
offended
probably
when I
just
accidentally said nowadays.
yeah, somebody just got triggered because you hate gay people now.
Like, I'm sorry, I love people, I love gay people that just accidentally came out. I didn't mean it. But nowadays, it's just impossible to do
Oh,
anything
quad
without
feet.
someone getting offended. And it's like, what is wrong? Why are people so hurt over everything?
I
And
okay, yeah, I know what you're saying because you go on Twitter and someone will say something and then someone will say something back and then it'll just develop into this huge internet nerd fight. And
yeah,
like honestly, this doesn't matter that much, so why are you two fighting about it?
I,
Because and a lot of it is just because more often than not, people will say I know people they say ignorant stuff all the time, but more often than not, it's just someone taking it way too literally.
yeah, it's true. And like saying that you're offended, it doesn't mean much. Okay, you're offended. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna tell the police that, someone said something that kind of, you don't really appreciate, but it's not like it mattered that much? Like being quote unquote offended is just a way for someone to bitch about something that doesn't or shouldn't matter.
Yeah, and like a lot of people are offended, especially with all the stuff. Oh, hit a quad feed. Anyway, people are offended, especially like with all the stuff that's going on in today's society with people killing and people dying.
Children
Uh,
hurt and hear them crying.
I can definitely hear them crying. I don't know about you. Like everyone's offended because someone will say, "Oh, it's not the black guy's fault, but he was self-defense," or somebody will say, "Oh, it was his fault because he's black." And I'm not saying that because like I'm trying to be racist or anything. It's just an example of how these things start.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm
I think one of the big problems is that, we're living in the 21st century. People should be fine. Like everything should be totally a-okay. And yet we still have racist people living in this country, which
right?
adds to the ridiculousness of people getting offended. Like
Hmm.
I saw this thing. I read this thing. It said 18-year-olds back in the day used to storm beaches, drop from helicopters, fight in wars. 18-year-olds nowadays need a safe place because words hurt.
Words do hurt sometimes, though. Not gonna lie, but
Well, yeah, but like let's be real. If someone says, "Oh, you're stupid," back in the day, like you would fight about it. But nowadays, you're crying to your counselor,
you would
someone called me
you you would
stupid."
throw hands at whoever called you stupid. But now
It's
people are just
true.
like, oh, I'm gonna cry about it until someone feels bad for me.
It's like I'm 99% sure being offended is just a cry for attention.
It is.
That's really all it is. And
That's all.
someone is going to get offended by this podcast, and I'm just going to be like, you know what? Blocked.
I don't think anyone's gonna get offended by it because nobody watches it.
Nobody listens to it.
Oh well, JK, I watch it every week.
Yay! But no, like I don't understand what the big deal is about someone saying something that may or may not have a quote unquote negative impact on your life. And the problem is that I think there are people who are trying to, like make the world peaceful. And like I'm totally fine with the world being a peaceful place because like we need like respect for everyone and everything like that. But if you make it so you can't say something where you're expressing yourself or you're expressing your opinion, just because someone has a different opinion, that makes you completely in the wrong. You should not be allowed to say that. Like, no, that's a complete joke. That is just laughable how stupid that sounds. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but like you said about voicing, everybody should be able to voice their opinion, right?
Hmm.
Well, I don't 100% agree with that because some people in this world are like, you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Kids that ride around the parking lot of my school with the Confederate flag. I'm talking to you.
Oh yeah, I think those kids are at every single school ever.
I just we live in Utah. I mean, for those of you that don't know, we live in Utah, and there is nothing country about Utah
It's
at all.
true.
So I don't understand. It's not me getting offended by their Confederate flags. It's me getting offended by their ignorance.
That that is a very true statement. I'm not
Just
even gonna
provided
lie.
I just provided an example. Being offended by their ignorance was an excuse to bitch about their Confederate flags.
But like
But
one of the big problems is that so many people are trying to like bring the world into a peaceful and serene time when really like okay, all right. Let's take music for example because this is a huge one. On most albums you buy or just anything you buy, a lot of the times there is a parental advisory little thing down in the bottom right corner, right? So that means there's probably going to be like some curse words or some like quote unquote offensive language. And some people have the audacity to tell you, no, that kind of
I
music is
just
wrong
got
to
killed
listen to.
by an assault ship.
And I think that's absolutely, ridiculous. Like I should be able to listen to what I want to listen to. Like sure, I won't play something that says the F word over and over and over in like a church or something like that.
Lord.
Because there's a time and place for certain things. But if you tell me that I can't listen to a song because you disagree with it, that doesn't mean anything. I don't understand where your argument comes from. I didn't realize that you were my parent.
That's like the same thing with video games. How violent video games are making children want to shoot up schools and
Oh, that is another topic, dude. That is something that gets me so triggered. I'm
I
not
get
even gonna lie.
I get so triggered over that because I've been playing violent video games for years and I haven't shot up a single school.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something. So one time I was sleeping over at my grandma's house, and my uncle was still living there because he was only like 20 and he's just trying to find a place to live. So he still lives at my
Right.
grandma's house and lives in the basement and stuff. And he
Okay.
he had the PlayStation 2 and he had the old Grand Theft Auto games and stuff.
Oh gosh.
So he falls asleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'm kind of bored. So I see what he was playing, and I'm like, wow, that looks like fun. So I like figured out all this technical stuff. Me being like, I don't even know how old I was, but I was smart enough to turn the game on and figure everything out. And then he woke up, and I'm like running over all these hookers and like shooting cops and stuff. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm playing this game. It's fun." And then like I ran over someone, and there was like a pool of blood. Like how like all the blood
Yeah.
just spills out when you run over someone. I was like, why did they have a whole bunch of fruit punch in their pants? Why did it all spill when I hit them? And then like he just starts laughing. And like ever since then I've been like kind of addicted to video games, and like I've really just played like violent games, and I really don't think that's changed much of my mentality. I think I'm still like Okay, most teenagers will say this, but I would say that I'm still fairly mature and I have an understanding of a few things in life, and I'm not gonna go shoot up a school because something at the school offended me or some teacher docked my
And
grade
because
to
you
an
play
A
violent video
minus.
games.
Yeah, exactly. Like the stupid reports were like, oh, this guy went and shot up a school and he played Grand Theft Auto 5. That's the reason he did it. No, the reason he did it is because he's a sick asshole who has
It's because
mental
he's
problems.
mentally unstable. And
And
they're just looking for people are looking for something to blame it on because they refuse to accept the fact that some people would just do that to do that.
it's true. And I think another problem is that like our healthcare system is kind of jacked up and like ridiculously expensive. So these people who have these mental problems can't get much help because they can't afford it, which means if they can't afford it and they can't get the help, then what are they going to do? They're going to go shoot up a school.
Okay, okay. Let me tell you this story. So they're trying to do exactly um, what they did with the drinking age for people, like because it used to be 18, right?
Right.
And then that kid hit the one lady's son or whatever
Oh yeah.
um, on the highway, and that's how Mothers Against Drunk Driving started.
Yeah.
And what happened is that because one person was ignorant, I'm not saying like they ruined it for everybody, but they ruined it for everybody.
you're not wrong there.
Like they're just trying to. One person doesn't like violent video games, so they're trying to get rid of it for everyone. Like because I can guarantee that the ratio of people who don't like these games to people who do like the games is like astronomical.
It's going to be like 1 to a million.
Yeah, there are going to be a ton of people, more people who like it because it's fun,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're just trying to take something, and they're just one person is trying to. They don't like it, so they think, "Man, I got to get rid of it. If I can't, if this is gonna sit here and I don't like it, then it shouldn't be on the world."
And something that I found hilariously stupid was I read this article a while ago. I can't remember what it was. But like, well, okay, like I can't remember where I read the article, but it was somewhere online and it was this mom and she bought what was it? I think she bought like Mortal Kombat for her kid. And like Mortal Kombat is a pretty violent game and like all the
It's definitely
fatalities are
like
ridiculously
the
like
worst. I think like out of all of them, it is the worst.
it's true. And like all the fatalities and stuff are so like graphic and everything. And this mom bought it for her like 8-year-old son, I think it said. And then she returned the game to GameStop because like the little kid wanted it and he went up to the office or the checkout cash register thingy and he's like, okay, I want this game. And so the guy working there, he's like, okay, can I have your mom come over? And then he explained to the mom what the game was about and how bad it was and everything. And she's like, oh yeah, he wants it, it's fine, whatever. And then she said that she returned the game the next day and she like demanded that they take that game off the shelves and that they don't sell it to kids. And the problem with that is she was the one who gave consent for the kid to get the game. It's not the kid's fault. You are the one who bought it for your 8-year-old son,
Exactly.
and you're demanding that it be removed because you don't like it. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Parents, okay, that's another thing. Parents need to research what their kids are getting into. Like, if I want a game and I'm like 10 years old and I'm like, hey mom, I want this game, it's rated M, like, can you get it? My mom will do the smart thing and she will look the game up and talk to my dad about everything that goes on in that game, and then they'll be like, okay, you know what, this is going on in the game, but I think it's fine for this. Or, no, the game's too violent, it's got too much graphic content, you can see boobs, whatever. No, you can't get it.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know what is wrong with that, but I there's a problem with parents nowadays, in my opinion.
We
There
talked
is
about
a
that like, in the last podcast.
We did, and it's like just something that I very, very strongly agree with. I think that parents nowadays are kind of stupid and neglect their kids a lot, and ends up raising assholes.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I don't know if you remember, but there was that period of time where I was not allowed to play Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
that's why I used to go over to your house all the time is
Yeah.
because I couldn't play Call of Duty at my house, and that was like you said because my mom. I wasn't even playing the game. I was watching.
Yeah.
Um, I think it might have been like Syndicate or somebody. I was watching them play zombies, and my
Hmm.
mom is like looked at it or something, and she saw it, and she's like, "Okay, this is way too graphic. You can't do this anymore." So she took the game away from me and said, "You can have it back once you turn like I don't know 13 or something like
Right.
that."
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, see, my mom is like she cares, so
Yeah.
she's not a
And
neglectful parent.
And something that's kind of different about my parents is my parents have never been the super strict parents. Like, I've never really had a problem. And I think that's why I'm not as rebellious as most teenagers are because I never had strict parents. They kind of just let me do what I want. Like, they always gave me responsibility and I did the right thing. And so I got, you know, more like a later curfew or something like that. So like I never did anything wrong, which is why I'm kind of this goody two shoes kid. But like I would show my mom a couple of things from Call of Duty or something. I'm like, "Hey mom, look, I'm about to beat this level," because like I thought it was cool and I didn't really have anyone to show it to, and I was like, and I'm really close to my
Mom,
mom.
Mom, come here. You want me hit these quad feeds?
Well, no, like, okay, shut up. I was just like, I was kind of cool. She kind of understood that this game was like a big deal to me, and like if I did something cool and I ended up showing her that it really was a big deal for me. And so she was like, oh, wow, that's cool. But then if I show my dad, he would always flip out and he's like, why do you have this game? This game is something that you shouldn't be playing. And so I think it's funny that my parents are complete polar opposites, and yet, like, they're married and stuff. And it's just funny because if my dad had it his way, then the house would be a really strict house and I wouldn't be able to do half of what I can do. But then like with my mom in charge, I basically can do whatever I want. And I think that little contrast adds a little bit of maturity and responsibility into my life and it helps me understand like where to go and where I come from and everything. You know, if that
This
makes
is
sense.
just let's talk about how great CJ is because his parents refused to parent him as a child, and so he had to be responsible.
Well, no, like I would say from the age of 13, I've been ridiculously independent. Like I could honestly go out right now and like get a good enough paying job and understand enough about life and I could probably live on my own at the age of 17.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone would give you a well enough paying job to the point where you could.
I mean, my grandpa, he moved out of his house. He moved out of his parents' house when he was 15 and he lived on his own for pretty much the rest of his life until he married my grandma. And like the dude was 15 and he was able to pay for like an apartment and stuff.
Well, I don't know what the cost of living was, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
guess that's true.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. I've been mature since about the age of like 7 because of certain events in my
In
life
your life. Yeah.
that usually don't happen to the majority of people.
Yeah. And I think that like puts you on a higher level than most people and that's something that most people wouldn't really understand about you.
Is that like because I had legitimately had no choice. I was either
Yeah.
gonna suck it up and deal with it like a man, or I was gonna be a little bitch for the rest of my life.
It's
And
true.
so I decided that hey, look, this is the time where I got to be responsible for myself. I got to be responsible for my sister, my mom, because now I'm the only one left. So
Yeah.
you just kind of yeah that and see that's the point of which sets the difference between like reactions to like emotional. I we talked about this the other day because I was telling you that the difference between the reactions between a breakup or like different
Right.
varying
Oh,
events.
voice crack.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about how just like your overall like how you take things or how well you take things depends on kind of the events you've taken in your life. Because if you've been babied for your entire life, then you're gonna be a baby about the stuff that happens in your
Yeah.
life. But if you've had to, be a man every once in a while, then it's like you just kind of take it and move on because the sun always comes out tomorrow.
It's
And
true.
yeah, you're not gonna die. Yeah, I mean, yes, things are sad, but there's a point where you just can't sit around and cry about it.
Exactly. Like you can't sit around and just hope that someone comes along and continues to baby you. Like if someone babies you and then they leave and then you just sit around crying and moping and stuff just waiting for someone to come by. Most of the time that person's not going to come by and you have to learn how to deal with that shit yourself.
Exactly.
Which is something that a lot of people can't understand nowadays because everyone is handed everything on a silver platter and it's just ridiculous.
God, especially all these people in Utah who they live on their parents' money for legitimately ever.
It's true. It's true. And like I'm not gonna lie. I kind of
You
go
are
into
you
this
are
category, but
hardcore mooching, dude.
I don't mooch. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you do.
What do I mooch on?
It's your parents, dude.
How do I mooch on my parents? What are my
You
parents paying for me for, except like besides school?
car insurance.
I pay for that myself.
No, you don't. You
I
don't
pay
even.
I pay for my car, my insurance, and my gas, and that thing chugs gas like a mother
God,
trucker.
no, I could tell, dude. Just by the way you described it, I could tell that thing. It's like about 6 miles per gallon.
Oh my gosh, my car's ridiculous. So the car that I drive is a 2001 Chevy Tahoe, and it's a nice car. It's a decent car. It's like it's pretty much everyone's first car, dings, scratches, kind of on the cheap side.
Mine's
But like
actually pretty nice for like a first car, though.
yeah, but
I'm
like
if we're TBH.
right, but I'm a tall person and so is Smooth, and like, we definitely have different cars. I like big SUVs.
I
I
have to sit all the way back in my car,
Yeah.
or else my feet will my knees will be in my chest.
It's true. It's so funny. But like I enjoy big SUVs. I'm not that big on trucks, but like, Ford Explorers, Tahoes, all those things, I really like those kind of cars. And, in my opinion, they're safer because if you get into a crash, would you rather be in a big sturdy car or a smaller car? I'd probably rather be in a big giant sturdy car.
Well,
So
I'd
that's
rather
why I
be
got
in a
mine.
big car, but I hate driving big cars because there's take up so much space.
Yeah, that's also true. But like um I don't even know where I was going with this. But like I pay
Talk
for all
about
of
gas.
that.
Oh yeah, we pay for stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to pay for car insurance and gas, and oh my god, car insurance is so expensive.
It's so stupid. Like I pay more for my car insurance than I did actually like monthly for my car.
Yeah, dude, I it's uh, like $90 a month for car insurance or
Yeah.
something ridiculous like that, and then the girls are paying like half of that.
It's true. And it's like why can't we all be on the same playing field? Oh, because boys are more stupid when they drive. Who cares if you're
I
like
actually think
responsible?
girls get in accidents way more than guys.
Okay. So I went to my grandparents' house this week, and my grandma was telling a story about how my grandpa got in a car accident. And so she was telling it he was driving down the freeway, and then this car ended up veering into his lane, and it like kind of clipped his side, and they both ended up spinning out and stuff. Like they're both fine and everything. But it was this chick, and she, I kid you not, had her license for 9 days, and she got in a car crash and basically totaled two cars.
Yeah, dude, freaking he's been in 3 car accidents. She was in 3 car accidents in under 6 months of having her license.
I don't understand how you can be so bad at driving.
I don't. I mean, it's a skill that everyone needs to have.
It's
So
true.
why, I think it was pretty natural I always loved driving like go-karts and stuff. And then
Oh yeah,
like when I was in
100%.
sixth grade, I was like, man, I can't wait to drive. And then finally the time came and I was just like, oh, this is it. I wasn't like super overexcited. Like, yeah, I was excited to get my license and finally have a little bit of freedom, but like it wasn't like the point where, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me because it's just part of life.
And I think that's kind of funny how most like kids are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to drive. I can't wait to drive." And then like you get your license and you're so excited for like 2 weeks and then your mom asks you to go do something and you're like, "Fuck, I don't want to go do that."
I hate running errands, but if to being honest, like I used to not like talk to anybody. Like I was, it was to the point where I wouldn't even ask for my own freaking ketchup at McDonald's or whatever. I
Yeah.
would I would rather go without ketchup than just go ask the lady, hey, can I have a packet of ketchup? But like having a car and like running errands for my mom and having to get a job is like it's really helped me out because now I'm not afraid to like talk to people anymore.
Right. It gives you a lot of social skills.
And yeah, so it's been like really beneficial for my life because now I'm sliding into DMs all over. Nah, but on the real though,
On the real, he slided into some DMs.
I did in fact slide into 3 girls' DMs. Actually, one girl slid into mine. So
Oh, you better curve her, man. You better curve her.
curve these hoes before they get a chance to curve me.
But like, I remember the one time we went to Lagoon, like just a couple days before school started and stuff, and we got in the line to get some food, and then we both got in an argument, and we were like, "You ask her if we can cut. No, you ask her if we can. No, you ask." And we sat there for like 5 minutes, and eventually I was like, "Fine, I'll go up." And then I was like, excuse me, miss, so we have 3 people in our party, and I noticed that you only had one, and they need 3 people. So would it be okay
Yeah.
if we cut in front of you? And like that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I do remember that. we, I remember that argument too. We were just sitting there, and they're like, "All right, is there a party of 3?" And we're like, "Oh God, we can't cut in front of this lady. All right, you ask her." And then you're like, "No, dude, you ask her." And I was like, "Nah, bro, I told you to ask her." And
It was like the highest anxiety level I had had all year long.
oh, it's true though.
But now I find talking to people to be like so much fun and
I
stuff.
enjoy talking to people. I like talking to people. I like learning new things about people.
I wouldn't say I'm a people person,
I yeah,
but
I would
I
definitely.
do enjoy talking to people.
Once I start talking to people, I don't mind
Right.
like talking to them for a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
feeds. Where's the
Oh,
fourth? Oh, dang it. Dang it, bro. I'm trying to hit a feed with the XPR, but it's not working.
he's trying to hit a feed with the XPR guys.
You and I have the exact same. Oh, never mind. We maxed out the scoreboard.
Oh, dang it.
I was like, dang, that's way weird.
That's ridiculous, but nope, it's just capped off at 30,000.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I know, I thought it would be something like 9999.
Yeah, so did I.
Because that's what like everything caps off at.
But
It just all ends in 9s. Hey, Smooth, why don't you tell the people what's happening next week?
Oh, your boy's getting an X-Bone.
Yay, he's only like 3 years too late.
But it doesn't matter. I'm finally doing it.
It's true. And guess what? He's not mooching off of his parents. He's using his own money.
I
Get
used
that.
my money that I earned working at my job.
What? How do you do that? I don't understand. I just have to mooch off my parents' credit card for everything.
Like, I go to work practically every other day so I can make money because my mom refuses to buy me stuff.
And you see, when you're older, you're going to appreciate the fact that your mom made you work for all this stuff.
Exactly, because now I learned that I have to manage my budget.
Exactly.
But, like, I mean, it's not super...
You just got knifed by a bot.
It's not super ridiculous where I have like a bunch of stuff like house payments and car payments to make, but
Right.
like I mean it's still more than most.
It's true. Like you understand that responsibility a lot more than probably 90% of the teenage
world.
population.
Or maybe even the adult population. Dude.
It's true. Some of the adults really don't understand how to. Okay. If we're talking about adults who don't know how to work with money, let's talk about my aunt and uncle real quickly. Let's talk about them, okay? So my aunt and uncle, they're like, oh, I love these two with all my heart. Like if my parents died, I'm moving in with these two. I kid you not. They are my favorite people in the world. But they're so stupid with money. And the problem is that like they filed for bankruptcy like 3 times, and I'm like, wow, okay, is there anything we can do? And they're like, no, it's fine, it's cool, we're just gonna move in with my mom and dad. And I'm like, oh sweet, so you're moving in with grandma and grandpa so I can see you guys whenever we come to visit. That's cool and everything. But then like they still like they are total like image, like they're like self-centered on their image, and so they go to the gym non-stop and they like run all these races and stuff. And you'd think that you would understand, like, hey, we filed for bankruptcy, maybe we should like stop spending money on all these races and these marathons, and maybe we should stop going to the gym for a little bit. But no, they did that even more, and it totally set them back a whole bunch. Like their house was, I would say it was a fairly big house, and then they filed for bankruptcy, and now they're living in like a 2-bedroom apartment, and they have 6 kids.
Yeah, dude, I know someone like that. It's like a teacher that like taught. Well, my mom retired, but she, I guess, taught at my mom's school. Who's been like a family friend forever because she has kids that. Well, she has 2 daughters. One that just is a year older than me. One that's like 22 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then she has 2 sons that are like the same age as Emily practically. So, but yeah, she's been like a family friend for the longest time. But she is the absolute worst with money. Like she's first off, she's a teacher, so you already know she's not making that much in the first place.
Right, yeah.
But then she'll be like, "Oh," and she's told my mom on multiple occasions, "Oh, we're $30,000 in debt or something like that," and
Wow,
then
dude.
I know. And then she'll proceed to say in like the next sentence, "Oh, hey, Karen, you want to go out and get a pedicure or something like that?" And you're like, you can barely pay house payments, but you want to go out and spend money on essentially pointless stuff.
I can't see how people can be that dumb with money.
I know. You gotta save. You gotta invest. Which,
You need to be smart with everything.
I
And
need
like
to.
in a lot of schools, I know with my parents growing up, they didn't have like a class that really offered like how to be smart with money and everything like that. And now like with most schools they have that, and it's called like financial literacy, and it teaches you how to be smart with money and like jobs and stuff and like careers and everything like that. But like back then, they didn't really have much, so their parents had to learn what their parents did. But then like if someone was stupid with money, and like if someone's parents was stupid with money, then that's what their kids ended up learning, is that we don't really know what to do with our money, we don't know how to be responsible. So that just added another family set that is stupid with money, and then eventually like your entire family, like your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, they're all like 1,000 bajillion dollars in debt, and you're like, well, how did this happen?
And it's always the people who like suddenly encounter large, like they go from having like no money to having a huge amount of money.
That is a fair point. That is a pretty true statement.
Because then they just like, oh, we have money, we can spend it, but they don't realize is that they can't spend it because they gotta pay for food and clothes and houses and cars and electricity utilities. And then they're like, "Oh, you're being evicted, and the bank is taking your house." And they're like, "Oh, why?" Because you haven't been making a house payment, but you do have 3 Lamborghinis, so
Yeah, maybe you should like, sell those or something. Or like those people that go through midlife crises and they're like, "Oh, I got to buy this Lamborghini." And then next thing you know, they're like so far in debt, but they got a Lamborghini, so it's all good. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
yeah, dude. And so I expressed to you my love for Teslas, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've talked about how much you love Teslas.
And it is my dream. I will not die until I have owned a Tesla at one point in my life. But the thing is that these are electric luxury vehicles, right?
Right.
And so immediately you already know that they're going to be like crazy expensive. Which, like, they did make a car that's more, available to the public. It like starts at 30,000 for MSRP or something like that.
Is
It's
it the
something
Volt?
not what?
Is it the Volt? The Chevy Volt?
No, Tesla made a Model 3.
Oh, okay. 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 My
We're
bad.
still on Tesla.
Okay.
So they have the Model 3, they have the Model S, and the Model X.
Right. Right.
Um, and so the Model S, which are the cool, awesome ones, which is the one I want, is
Uh-huh.
it starts at I don't know, like $85,000 for like just the worst, base type thing, and I mean, that's
But you say
crazy.
worst type base, and that's still the like better
It's
than most of the
way
cars on
better
the
than
market.
any because any car you will see on the road, like with the exception of the Bentleys and the you know
Hmm.
and but so it's like $85,000, right? And you can't just go out and buy an $85,000 car
Right.
because nobody, I mean, hardly anybody has just $85,000 in cash just to blow. So you have to usually get a loan, right?
Right.
And so you go and you get the loan, and sometimes you have to pay interest on the loan, so that sometimes your payment is more than you think it would be.
Hmm.
And people don't calculate that, and then they're like, "Oh, you haven't been meeting your payments, so we're gonna have to charge you more." And then that keeps happening. It's like a circle, like
Yeah.
a constant. Oh, you haven't been paying your payments, so we're going to keep charging you more and more and more because you're late and all this stuff. So then suddenly, if you have this thing that you always wanted, and you thought you had money for, you actually didn't have money for. And yeah, I guess you get the point of the story.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like that's I don't get how people can feel the need to buy something so expensive just because they want it, but not go through like all their like with me. I'm only 17 basically, and I have
Not even
sev
yet, bro.
well, okay, I'm 17 in 19 days. Shut up. But I have like several Excel spreadsheets about all the money I make, what I put it in, all the payments that I have to make, and everything. And I have it all. So if I'm like, I
Oh,
wonder if I can afford
speaking of,
this.
okay, I was going to tell you about that because I remember you told me about the spreadsheets. Website I found, I was testing it out. It's called like Personal Capital or something like that, personalcapital.com.
Okay.
And you like go in and you put your account information in. Just like the account number, it doesn't ask for like PIN, I don't think. So, like, there's no risk of you getting your stuff stolen.
Okay.
Um, but oh god, feeds with the S view. Oh my gosh, headshots, dude. But anyway, you put like in, and then it's just basically like an account tracker. So it tracks what you put in, everything you spend money on, and so it'll tell you like, oh, you're spending more money than like you were at this time last month. And so like it's just a good little tool because it tells you what you put in, where you put it into, what you're spending it on, and like it also track your investments. But unfortunately, I don't have any of those. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I was gonna tell you about that. It's pretty sick.
That's
And I
pretty cool.
promise we're not sponsored.
Yeah, yeah, no sponsor, but yeah, that does sound cool. But like, so going back to what I was talking about, I have like a whole bunch of spreadsheets about everything that I use money for. Like, I have dates that I have dates when I get paid, I have dates when I spent money, I have dates, basically just for everything money related. And so if I'm ever in like a pickle and I'm like, I wonder if I have enough to buy this thing because it's like a little bit pricey. So I'll just go in, look at that spreadsheet and be like, okay, you know what? If I make such and such money by such and such date, then yeah, I'll be fine. But then if I don't have the money, then I'll just be like, nope, you know what? I want it, but maybe I'll just save up for it. And I don't understand why a grown adult who is supposed to be responsible and like care for their family or their kids, I don't understand how that can be so hard and so time consuming that they just don't do it.
Or like you don't even have to put it on a spreadsheet. Just I mean, you people are able to keep track of it in their head.
Yeah,
I mean, like of course it won't be like exact, but I mean, you still can get a pretty good idea.
it's true. I don't get how people lack so much responsibility nowadays. And the thing that really upsets me about responsibility is that people don't accept responsibility for themselves and they always have to put the blame on other people.
Hmm.
That's something that really gets me. Like I got in trouble for something that I had no part of. Like we were doing some officer things for school, and my job is to take pictures. Or okay, well it was to take pictures, but now it's something else. But so I'm supposed to take pictures, and I'm like, cool, okay. And then I give the pictures to the person who manages the Facebook page, and then they're supposed to upload the pictures. And so we have our like bi-monthly meeting and stuff, and then like the advisors start chewing me out because there's no pictures on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, and they just start ramming into me. And so I was like, okay, we'll just wait till it's my turn and then I can start talking. And they're done, and I get the biggest smirk on my face, and I'm like, I'm about to hit you guys with some serious shit. And I'm like, you know what? It's not my job. I gave her all the pictures. I gave her everything. I told her what to do, what to upload, what to title everything. She hasn't done it for 3 months. I don't understand how this is my fault. And they just did not talk they didn't give me a single ounce of crap for the rest of the night, and I just laughed so hard.
Got him.
So
I felt like I needed to throw that in there.
well, that was basically the end of my story. If someone tries to get me in trouble for something that I didn't do, oh shit's gonna hit the fan for that person.
True, dude. Holy shit, Snapchat's everywhere.
Snapchats for days.
I hope they're nudes. I also need a charger.
Nudes,
Shit.
please. Send me nudes with and charger, please.
I'll send you send you a few nudes.
Ooh, please send me some nudes.
I'll send Wanda our nudes so I can complete the Nocturne totem. Right?
Reference to our buried challenge.
If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Nocturne Totem Challenge on Buried.
Buried. It's pretty fun. Kind of a little bit embarrassing because we went down so many times.
Well, I was playing with a huge amount of lag. You were just bad.
I was just bad. I was kind of distracted that day.
As soon as you saw the one bar, and then I started going down.
Yeah, everything went downhill for you. But what's funny is that I'm like 99% sure you jinxed it because you're like, wow, dude, I'm flawless. Why would I try to cheat? Then next thing you know, like 2 minutes later, oh, I'm down. Help me.
I know. I did. I completely. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm down. I have the Colt. Revive me.
I had the Ray Gun Mark II though.
You did have the Ray Gun Mark II. But like, how funny would it be if someone was like, I have the Colt. Revive me.
I had the M1911, bros. Best gun in the game.
I pack-a-punch the SMR. Revive me.
Dude, what a waste. I'm actually using that gun right now.
It's good in multiplayer. Like, it's a 2-shot in multiplayer. I'd say it's better than the FAL.
All right. So I say we close it up as soon as you hit 1,000 kills.
Okay, I'm at 934.
And you got streaks coming in, so it shouldn't be like a whole bunch longer.
Yeah, I got Warthog.
Especially since we're like 37 minutes or something like
that. We are at 43.
Yeah, see, that's like a long. It takes
long.
such a long ass time to do.
Yeah, it's true. But okay, I was thinking, do you think we should vlog when you get your Xbox One and then just do like a whole bunch of stupid shenanigans?
Oh yeah, dude, we need to vlog like on the way. So you have your camera, right? So just bring it with you, and then we'll take it to the store with us, and then we'll be like just me buying my Xbox One. It'll also be like a face reveal.
Yeah, AT Smooth 6 face reveal. Hasn't uploaded in 8 months, but guess what? Here's his face.
Nobody on the internet has seen my face before.
It's true. It's true.
So story time. I was at work today for a little bit before we had like a leak, and so this lady comes in and she's like, she gets her car washed, and then she's drying it off because we provide like towels for you to do that since we don't do it ourselves. So she's like, oh yeah, so are you in high school? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna be a senior next year. And she's like, oh, where do you go? And I said, oh, I go over to Hillcrest, And she's like, oh, well, I have a daughter that goes to Cottonwood. And then she's like, oh yeah, and then I'll bring my daughter places, and she'll get really embarrassed because I'll be like, oh, that kid is cute. And then she'll be like, Mom, stop, And I was like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. I mean, my mom does the same thing,
Right.
And so she's like, all right, yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here. You have a great rest of your day. I said, you as well. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you again next time. And she's like, oh yeah, and I'll have my daughter look you up on Instagram when I get home. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't know. That just story came into my head when we were talking about faces and the internet. So
that's a funny story.
It's funny. I think it's funny that yeah, that
I think moms are really funny when they like
moms
try
are
to
funny.
embarrass their kids.
I love moms. All right, three more. Hit
Yeah.
us dope final kill cam, bro. Oh, should I do the trick shot? Um, the double shock charge cancel.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna see if I can hit a trick shot with a KSG. I just need to die. But
Okay.
like talking about moms, like my mom always tries to embarrass me, and it's like really super funny because I don't get embarrassed easily at all. Like I'm normally the one that does the
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I get
So me and my
embarrassed.
mom will go out in public and she'll be like, "Oh, son, like she's so cute. Like, oh my gosh, she's a dater." And I'm like, "Oh, mom, her pants are so gorgeous." And these people just like look at us and they're like, "What is wrong with these two kids?" You should end it because that was kind of cool, I guess. But
Okay. I
and
don't
I
have
also got
fast.
1,000. But like I just think moms are great. If your
I
mom
do
isn't
too.
your best friend, you're doing something wrong. I've said that on the podcast already, but I firmly believe that.
Oh.
Oh,
Except he hit the ground, so it wasn't a real trick shot.
I hit the ground, but it was still kind of cool.
It was.
I'm
It
on a
was.
1 bar. Oh, went up to a 4 bar. But anyways, you want to do the outro?
No, I did the intro, so it's all you.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. All right. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, or I guess listening, because there's nothing on the screen except for the title. But thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope this enlightened your mind. I hope it made you feel good about yourself on the inside. I hope you weren't offended by this, and I hope you're responsible with your money. It's Panther is signing out.
Alrighty, and I didn't even get to say, "Hey, Smooth, why don't you say goodbye too?" But it's okay. I'll just do it myself. All
That's
right, hey, Smooth, why don't you say goodbye? All right, thanks, buddy. All right, so we'll see you guys later. Make sure you check me out, YouTube.com. Go type in AT76. I should come up. I'm most famous for my salty Sundays with Smooth, even though it's been like forever since I uploaded a salty Sundays with Smooth. So yeah, all right, we'll see you guys later, and all you people stay beautiful out there.